For our second ToDoodle, the warm-up problem is about a bus stop, where every time we went to the next stop, then the amount of people that got on the bus was up by 3. The last stop had 20 people, so we had to kind of take away 3, take away 3, take away 3, take away 3, take away 3. And then we added them all up using the online calculator, whose link was here. You could use your own calculator or your phone app, but if you want to see me type things, I use this one. And we got 75 total for how many people got on the bus before they all got on. Okay, moving on to new stuff. We're trying to write out 5,622,106. So there are 4 different ways to write that on the board. Which one seems easiest? Any of them would be officially wrong or just kind of awkward or unpleasant. You can move the shapes and see. But before you move anything, let's talk about it. Which of these do you like best?
My computer is very glitchy every time I try to do the thing and participate.
622, 106. These.
Actually,
Somebody likes the third one and maybe the fourth one from.
I agree with the third one.
Okay, so votes.
I'm going with the fourth one.
So let's move these sheets over here. See what's officially good and officially bad about them.
1,622,206. Third one sounds right. I don't know why.
This was brand new to me. I mean, I sort of had personal biases, but as far as one being actually officially better, then this was stuff I learned.
I think the first one sounds so much better because of and.
Yeah.
Because it says 5,622,206 compared to like 5,622,206.
I agree.
Correct.
Okay, so
only
if
in
I
Australia.
reveal this box, this one, the first one is considered wrong everywhere. It's missing the commas. It's missing the dash in 22. There's no ands. And would you understand what number we're talking about? Probably, but just sort of officially, this isn't the right way to do it. Yeah, go ahead and uncover that one if you want. Just move the thing out of the way somewhere. Yeah. The third one that people liked the most is correct in most English-speaking countries. So this one that has commas, it has a dash between 20 and 2 for 22. It doesn't have any ands.
There always had to be a comma, right?
Sort of. We'll talk about this. It's not quite, yeah, this is a language issue, not a correct answer in math issue. So it's a little funny.
Got you.
So, but this one is considered correct if you're speaking. This one, as the note says, this is worldwide what to do when writing checks. You don't need to put the commas in when you're writing a check. It's not like the bank is going to refuse a check, but
that's not the proper way.
Officially, that's the proper way. And again, this was news to me, but there we go. Okay, somebody uncover this one.
Let me see if I can. It's really hard for me to. Let me see.
If you're on the phone, it's trickier.
Yeah, I had to zoom in.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
please. Someone.
Australia is the outlier. So this one is correct, but only in Australia. To put the wherever there would be a comma between, not a comma, wherever there's a space between hundreds and tens of.
620. Only in Australia. Wow, that's the first.
So I don't know if you've studied any journalism, but there's these books like the AP, Associated Press Style Book, or the Modern Language Association Handbook, or the Chicago Manual of Style, or Words into Type. There's these books that tell people officially how to write correct things for newspapers and journals and stuff. And they don't agree on all of these things. So let's look at the next page and see. The issue is if you wrote 350,000, does that mean 350 of thousands, right? 350 thousands.
350,000.
Does it mean? And for adding 350,000, that would be very different. This one would be 50,300 as opposed to 350,000. So when we see words, we need to know which to do. So the Australians are kind of flaunting disaster by using and when writing large numbers. You're sort of inviting an addition error to happen if someone misunderstands what you're trying to do. Similarly, second paragraph, if a science fiction story says there are 1,237 people, buildings, and settlements on Mars, does that mean there's 1,237, all of those things counted together? Or were we counting three different things? There were 1,000 people, 200 buildings, and 37 settlements. So you could see, you could kind of argue it either way, although one probably would win the argument. So when we're, this one, the ambiguity is because of the commas. They're confusing us. Are we listing three different things, or is this part of the number that we have the comma? So that is why we avoid commas on checks.
That makes sense.
Other things.
Yeah.
So anyway, the big lesson is if some other math teacher scolds you for not writing things correct, then there's not one universal way to write things correct. But there's things that are mostly agreed on. So the general trend is if it requires more than 2 words, use the digits, whether you're writing a newspaper article or a book or something. So 15 is fine, 76 is fine, 12 billion is fine. Those are all 2 words. But if you want to write 137, then just use the digits.
Okay.
Some are more restrictive. The AP style book is the most strict. It says if it's bigger than 9, just write it as digits. Don't try and use words even for 10 or 11. There's also exceptions, like in all good language issues. And there are style guides that say don't start a sentence with digits, or when you're quoting someone, then you could do what they did, or things like that.
Yeah, we had those in Mexico. That's how we do in Mexico. They don't really matter, but but here in America, it really does count, though.
Yeah, so I want you to kind of be aware of this, because maybe you'll have an essay class and they'll get upset at you if you don't follow proper AP style guidebook, but we don't care in this class. Right? We're not writing essays about math, but you are well-educated people, so you should notice. Okay, let's try and fill this out. Use either the tool for sticky notes or tools for text boxes. If you're very good with your mouse, maybe you could write things out in the digits one, but maybe not. Let's see if we can write things correctly. We're also in the third column identifying what's the biggest place value in our number. And if you're typing something, call out so two people aren't typing because we don't see them at the same time. So say, I'm typing the words for the first one, or I'm typing the digits for the second.
I'm typing for the first one.
Yeah, I was gonna do the first one, but you can go ahead.
Okay.
I'll do the bottom one. By the way, up at the top when you're typing, you can switch from normal to caption and things like that. Caption is small, so.
My screen is not letting me type or spell right now. It's having
Yeah, on the
trouble.
phone, you're quite limited, unfortunately.
It won't let me bring a keyboard. Having trouble.
Yeah, my computer's making it very hard for me to participate in the stuff.
Yep, some are like that. Are you on a Chromebook, by the way?
Yeah,
I'm on like, yeah, one of those things.
The Chromebooks tend to be almost as bad as the phones. It's because you're
I can
trying
do
to
the
do
last
Zoom
one.
and this. It's often better once we're not in class anymore. When you come back to these later on, then it'll be working much better.
Okay. I'm gonna try to invest my next paycheck into an actual nice computer for myself.
I can't give you financial advice. That's not my job.
You're like, I'm a teacher. That's all I'm here for.
For the largest place value of the second one, thousands is just the number right after the comma. This is 10,000s, right? 30. So can you edit that one to say 10,000s instead of just thousands?
$13,425.
We're getting done. As a comment, remember that putting an and is sort of more okay spoken out loud than writing it as words, because you're somewhat inviting the, am I supposed to be adding these two things, or is it all just part of reading the word? So I'm not going to say including the word and is wrong, but just sort of have it in your head. Someone else might scold you for that in another context, in an English class or journalism
Is
class.
that better?
So, I'm not going to say better or not, because we're kind of talking. I'm a math teacher, not an English scholar. So
That makes sense. It all makes sense at the end. But this really does help though, understanding more numbers and things that I didn't know before. You know, it's coming all along.
yeah, I'm going to take this one and resize it for whoever's doing that. Yeah. So it is 602,000, but then we also have.
I'm trying to finish it.
Whoops,
I'm just a horrible speller.
that's okay. That's one
I'm gonna
advantage
do
of
this
math class is no one.
on a table. It's hard for me to put words together sometimes, but I'm trying. Which one's left though?
600.
This one we're editing. Do you want me to finish it, or is someone working on
I'm trying to finish it.
that? Okay, how about this one?
What is left on? Okay,
You
see.
just need to make this
Right.
into digits.
19. 99,182,000.
Mhm.
Did I say it right?
Yep.
99,182,000. Okay.
602,000.
Let's see if I can nail that one down. 9.
If the text box doesn't work, try the post-it notes. Sometimes they're easier, especially if you're on a phone or Chromebook.
Okay. Yeah, let me try that one.
And then somebody here needs to put an answer. So this one isn't thousands or 10,000s, but hundreds of thousands. Yay, okay.
I'm still having trouble on the last one. So 99,183. So it'll be 4 digits. More than 4 digits.
More than 4 are needed, that is true.
Yeah, okay. Because 4 digits would be 100. 5 digits would be
99,182,000. That looks right. Whoever just did it.
yeah, we nailed it. You got it for me.
Gotcha.
And the thing that just appeared there, that has some billions in it.
Oh my.
So somebody,
Millions have 7 digits, right?
millions have 7 digits, yes. So that's too big, whoever put the last thing in, because there's 4 commas and that's way too many. No, 3 commas, that's way too many. Okay, now it looks great. Ready to move on to the next page?
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, not for now, but just practice at home if you want. Show that you can formally write when you need to by fixing poorly written checks. So you don't have to actually do this on a Jamboard, maybe just make a note to yourself on paper. But somebody used kind of slang. What does K mean with numbers?
Okay, it's
1,000.
1,000. So somebody tried to
Yeah.
write a check for 42,000. And that's not the formal way to write it. So can you fix?
No.
Someone else put 1,200. And if you're talking to me and said 1,200, I would know what you mean, but that's not the formal way to say it. If this is more than 10, then you need to go into the thousands. For the third check, 615. We're not supposed to put 15s in the checks.
no. Or ands, right?
No ands on checks until you get to the decimal place. When you have a like cents amount, then the word and is supposed to be the decimal point.
Wait, you said no 15s on checks?
15 is fine, but this and, that's not a decimal point.
Oh,
The
yeah.
only time you should see an and is if there was some cents, because you had a decimal point.
If there was a bigger number.
And then for the last one, we're missing something. What are we missing in the last check?
The last one is 122. I can't really see that one. Is it
Missing a dash.
122?
It is. I can make it bigger if you want.
He didn't sign it.
So let's look back at this other page. What's missing on the check?
The hyphen.
The decimal.
Yeah, we need a dash, a hyphen between 20.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
So there's a rule that anytime you have a word ending in Y,
You
20,
need a dash.
40, you need a dash after it.
That makes sense.
Okay, and your challenge problem to think about, we can always check in on these at the start of next class if you want.
There's like homework.
Is it homework? Sort of. We'll talk about the homework again. Can we write two different numbers the same way as digits? And can we write two different numbers the same way as words? Either give an example of when you can, or try and explain in a sentence why you can't. Again, your homework is to look at these again sometime during the next few days, and then do that by going to the My Copy. And when you click on it, it'll say, do you want to make a copy? And you say yes. And then let me know, use a text or an email and say, number one, that was worthwhile. Number two, looking at that again didn't help me. Number three, I like that, and so on. And we'll keep track of who likes which ones as after class work. So no one is grading you, you are grading these ToDoodles to say, is this a worthwhile thing between classes, or was it only good as an in-class activity?
Or is this stuff we have to go back and like remark or?
Yeah, when you click My Copy, it's going to make a brand new copy that doesn't have any changes to it yet.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be just like when we started class before we did all the stuff, right? So see how much it's in your brain, because again, if it doesn't stick in your brain, you're not going to do any better on the GED.
So like a little quiz.
So yeah, use this as a check your understanding. Did the stuff we did in class on Tuesday stay, or did it fade away?
Hopefully it stayed.
Hopefully it stayed. Okay, now we get a game. So I'm going to put the link to the third one in chat and meet you there. I'll stop this recording and we'll start another one.